Hi there, Robin here from Expert On. Today we're going to be talking about Blastking and their wired microphones. So they do have a nice wireless set, which we will review down the road in a couple of days. But for now, we're going to talk about the MH7 and MH10, which is the one I happen to be talking on right now. Now, who wants to buy a reasonably priced microphone? Depends on how you're going to be using it. Now, if you're doing live performances and you're getting paid for your gigs and you've got money coming in, by all means, go ahead. Buy yourself some PGA or SM58s. For today's video, we are going to do comparisons. I'm not even going to bother with the SM58 because, I mean, it's a knockout of the park. You never have to worry about it. Microphone. So, and the price point. I mean, we're talking reasonably priced microphones, and this is a high performance, great quality. You're not going to break it over time microphone. So let's talk about the PGA58. So let's switch microphones. This is a PGA58. I'm talking to you on it right now. What we were talking on was the MH10 from Blastking. Now, this is actually, as they say on the packaging, is designed for performance quality microphone, ideal for lead and backup vocal performances. Live show, I mean, to be honest, that between the SM58, besides point of origin, which this one's made in China, and the SM58, if you're in North America, is made in Mexico. So that is so this way, if you ever get an SM58 made in China, it's a fake, it's a knockoff. Anyways, that put aside, when do you use that? You use that all the time when you're doing live shows, if you're just doing talk, that sort of thing. If you're using it at home for karaoke, if you need it for church, that's the type of microphone you want to buy into. But that's not the only microphone you have out there for choice. This microphone is called an PDMIC59. It also comes as a 58. Now the 59 has an on-off switch. The 58 doesn't. These happen to be coming from Pile. Now they're just a different flavor. They're 1/3 the price of buying a PGA 58, but you're going to get a slight different sound out of it. You may or may not be happy with it. It may not be your cup of tea, as they say, but it is a good choice in place of, let's say, a PGA 58. This is a Blastking. This is the MH7 and MH7S. Very similar in style to Pile or Shure's SM58. They tend to always be in that style because that's the way microphone clips like to hold microphones. They don't like square little boxes because a microphone can come in any shape and size, but it has to be practical to use with mic stands or equipment that you already have. So here, again, if you're using it for live, if you're using it for karaoke, if you're doing announcements, if you're just singing for fun, if you're on a budget or in a garage band, nice way to go. Now, we can go on and talk about all like the specifications and all that. There's not a lot going on different. They do sound different. There's some manufacturing differences. If we really got picky and started looking in the inside, which we can do, you're going to find that in the SM58, there's a rubber ring that buffers the actual microphone in the handle. On regular models, it tends to be a plastic bodied design. They all have a soft dome on them, so that's about it. The amount of sponge internally, you get more on the SM58 than you do on the PGA58, and the PGA58 maybe has a little bit more, so you may want to have a sponge cover on it. That's all that really comes down to. But at the end of the day, reasonably priced microphones are very, very popular, especially when you're shopping with us at Expert Island, or if you're on Amazon in the States. We'll have links, of course, time for a plug, for all these microphones down below. But reasonably priced, if they're going to get used by people who don't use microphones, buy reasonably priced microphones and buy them more often because they're more likely to get broken by accident than, you know, they don't tend to die. They tend to just, you know, oh, I dropped it like 50 times and now it doesn't work anymore. These things happen. Doesn't matter how much you spend on a microphone. But yes, SM58s are better, but they cost a lot more. So we're always looking for a good alternative. Before it used to be, say, hey, buy the Pile because they're a really big company and they have a lot of great options and they have a lot of clout when it comes to the manufacturer. They can dictate the quality and get the product back. And also the manufacturers tend to want to keep them happy, so they will go that extra mile. Now, Blastking's doing the same thing. They are a big company building lots of big product, mostly in the consumer and commercial pro audio series. So stuff for DJs, clubs, bars, restaurants, that sort of stuff. So if you're looking for microphones to fit into there, and again, if I poured a beer all over this by accident, I wouldn't feel too bad because it was reasonably priced when it comes to shopping and buying them. So anyways, that all being said, I thought I'd give you a shot to hear all of these. Today we are recording on an audio interface, so this way you get the maximum out of this. Do I have picks or preferences? I'll be a little frugal with my microphones, I tend to be, because I'm talking on it. So I mean, as long as it's taking my message, bringing it across, and you enjoy the sound of it, then it's a good microphone for me. So I always have in the showroom the PGA58s. I always have the Pile 58s. And now we're always going to have the Blastking. Now, I am going to say one extra thing about the Blastking. It's a couple of dollars more expensive than the Pile. The Pile, though, comes with, and I don't know why they still do this, or they don't at least offer an option, it comes with a 1/4 inch to XLR cable. So, yes, you can plug an XLR cable into it. You can get an XLR to XLR. That's what you need on a mixing board, right? The Blastking actually comes with the proper cable in the box for a mixing board. So if you're going to plug this into a mixer, it's going to include the XLR cable. Now they also include the clip. They give you another clip, so this way you always have extra clips, because occasionally they do break. You get one in the package. So there you go. Outside of that, this is going to be the big upgrade for them, and it's only like $10 more at most. It's to go to their MH10. So the MH10 is basically, it's a little heavier. It feels nicer in my hand. It looks pretty cool. Outside of that, it does have different sound characteristics. And again, that's going to be up to you. You either like the sound or you don't like the sound. Is it a better microphone? If you like a heavier microphone or a more dense microphone, this is going to be a really good choice. It also comes with a case. Besides the clip, microphone, cable, you get a case with it, which is kind of cool because you got somewhere to put it away. So that'll be about it for this video. Like I said, we've been doing it through the audio interface. So all 4 microphones were plugged into a Behringer mixer. The compressors were all set to 50%. Everything else was straight down the line. Everything's at unity. There's no increase or decrease of bass and treble controls on it. So there's no alteration. They were all set up exactly the same. And they were all recorded well on my laptop here. And we're going to put it all together with that video you're watching right now. So I hope it works out for you. If you got any questions or comments, you can always leave them down below. If you subscribe, like always, I want to say thank you very much. If you haven't, now is always a good time before the video ends. It's always good to hit that. And thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, well, let me know why. It's always good to know because, a thumbs down is okay, but it doesn't help me help you for the next video. So, well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. So here's a little bonus video for you, and it has to do with XLR cables. Expensive cables, cheap cables, what should you get, and is there really a difference? Well, the connectors are going to be as important as the actual cable itself. So if you're looking for a cable and you've bought them and you want to know if you made the right choice or not, stretch the cable out on the floor. Don't have anything connect to it. Have it connect to your mixer and your speakers. Whip the cable on the floor. If you can actually hear the sound of that cable whipping on the floor, yeah, that's probably not a very good cable. But outside of that, you shouldn't, when the cable's unplugged, get too much of a hiss off the cable when it's live. No hiss when it's off. Then you bring the cable in, you should still sound very quiet. Now, there is grading quality in the cable, and besides that, there is grading quality in how thick the actual outer jacket's going to be. For us, we do a lot of folks who like DJs and that, and now we carry a Blastking cable, for example, that has a heavier outer jacket to it. And why is that? Because a lot of people are going to walk and step on it, and it's going to get kept in the back of a van and all that kind of stuff. And it was just a little bit stronger, let's say. I mean, that would be a good word. Plus, it unrolls easy. I mean, once you roll it all up properly, you basically throw it, and the cable's heavy enough that it just drapes out on the floor really nice. But outside of that, in Canada, we have a cable that we get from Digiflex, made in Canada. Cable comes from the U.S. The connectors come from Taiwan. And they make a beautiful product. They also make a more reasonable price version made in China. Funny enough with them, they don't go to the full length. So they make longer cables in Canada with the American cables than they do with the Chinese cables. It has to do with what they chose as the grade and quality of product they want. So Don't buy a ton of cables all at one time. If you're trying a new brand or a new cable, buy one cable or two cables. Buy short or long. That's up to you. And give them a try. I mean, you should be able to compare them like I do here. Well, I compared all the cables against each other before doing this actual video to make sure that I wasn't getting any difference response. And it gave me a chance to actually see how good the Blastking cables were, because I was a little concerned and I wanted to make sure we were buying into a good product. The price is right. The cables are awesome. So we're good.